Today is November 26, 2025, and this is a second part to what God's plan is, no one can change. And basically, that was a reference to the ex actually going to his mother's house, and no matter what the circumstances were, whether I left or he left or whatever, his destination through God's will was to his mother's house. Now, to follow up on that, is him fleeing there was actually like a vacation from his life. He used the pretense of he was in so much danger where he was, or being mistreated somehow. And it was all fabricated, but he didn't want the responsibility of life, the responsibility that came with having a wife, on top of everyday living, bills, and what it takes to manage a home financially. He also had a person in the form of a wife who had needs, had conversations, had emotions, and things that maybe weighed on him, not unreasonably. It's just that his capacity could not hold emotions of another person, not a person just being erotic and all these thought thought provoking things. It was just behaviors that's causing responses, and these responses are unwelcomed by him, even though he, in most aspects of it, was the culprit of what was generating a reaction or a response. And he just did not want to manage that, accept accountability for it, be responsible for himself and or how his behavior affected another person. So whatever he could come up with to generate an escape plan for himself was what he did. And so he fled to his mother's house, which was God's will, and so was other reasonings for that. But as far as his concern, um, it was a vacation for him. He goes over there, he no longer has any bills, he doesn't even pay the mandatory and necessary bills that he have just for himself. He didn't even pay those, which has been determined as in the past 2 years, as things got deteriorated in his life for his lack of responsibility just for his own personal needs. He went there and he just wanted to sit at the smoke shop, go golfing, go on visiting people in Texas and Vegas or whatever he's doing with his money, but not being responsible for himself, his things, any properties that he's has. His land doesn't look like he's been paying for that, which is very cheap. I think it's about $100 for a year of taxes, and just negligent in all accounts. But basically, he left his marriage because he didn't want to be a responsible adult. He didn't want to be responsible for another person, and me as his wife at that time, I'm definitely a responsible person, definitely responsible for myself, and also took on a responsibility for the family as a whole. But there was some irritation because I didn't understand why I had to be responsible for a husband in every aspect: his emotions, his feelings, the finances, everything. And I got nothing in return. We did not work as a team, but this isn't about me. This is about his escape. And he would like to make it seem like he was kicked out, which he wasn't, and we all know that. But it's the fact that he didn't want to be responsible for anything, even for himself. So he went to home, which is to his mom. Because at his mom's house, just his mom in general, mommy, is taking care of him. He's taken care of. He's fed. He don't have to pay no bills. It's like he just want to be a 16-year-old. It's so strange. He just wants to be a 16-year-old, able to drive, maybe have a girlfriend, if getting allowance, or if even working, just spending his little bit of money on his weed and whatever little frivolous things he wants, but no actual responsibility, no consequences to actions, no dependence, no one to depend on him. And life is going to keep continuing because I can't speak for another person, but it's undoubtedly, I don't know what his mother thinks about him or what this is, but at some point, just in their relationship, it's going to be okay. I'm here to help you, or whatever. But then it's going to be okay. When you gonna get it together? Like, how long do I need to help you as an adult? When you're helping a teenager, which is your responsibility, but when you're helping a young adult or someone even in their 30s or 40s, that may be going through some type of life upset transition, and they actually have children of their own, grandchildren. Okay, let's figure this out. But now it's just like, okay, your kids is grown. You were set up with now a different wife. How come you still can't manage your life? I don't know if she'll ever come to that recollection, but it would be very questionable about a 50-something-year-old's behavior at that big age, as far as why their life is not getting on track when they actually got to have a break in bills. A break in bills doesn't mean go on trips and spend frivolously. It means get your affairs in order. Pay up your bills, pay your bills off, pay whatever it is while you don't have the overhead costs of household and gas and lights and this and that. I don't know if he was contributing to her household or not. Can't say that. But in general, if you leave your primary residence where you're responsible for the bills, supposed to be responsible for the bills, and you go to a place where that's not your responsibility, you can chip in if that's the case, or if they're helping you out, get your stuff in order, pay off your debts, um, purchase what you need to purchase, and basically save what you need to save so that you can show your appreciation by using that break in financial responsibility to actually get get a step forward to being self-reliant, financially. And none of that was done for him. It wasn't until his grandmother passed and he gets a lump sum of money that now he's getting a car, getting an apartment. But you can't do everyday life things on one-time money. That money is definitely a help forward, but it should actually have been a savings to maybe purchase a house, or just a savings to have for retirement or something. But it shouldn't be your primary financial livelihood, money in this moment, because that's going to run out. So how are you managing your recurrent money, which is through your job? If you're not making enough, or not, whatever's going on with that, you're not going to be able to sustain something that you purchased with one-time money. And now you're not getting that money again. So how are you going to maintain this going forward? So basically, his escape from his responsibility as a husband and his responsibility to himself in life was a vacation, with his mom, a vacation from life, not just a trip, an actual vacation from life, by sitting up under the care of his mother as an adult and that is wild.